If you grew up in a place like this, or even this, you have superpowers. Let me explain. You ever stop and wonder how we're still standing? Because if you really trace the steps of where we come from, the storms we survived, the systems we were dropped into, the things that we have seen and still keep moving, you'd realize something. They try to break us more times than we can count. But we don't break. We don't fold. We don't shatter. We don't disappear. Caribbean people, we are fireproof. But what makes us fireproof isn't that we never felt pain. It's that we've learned to walk through it without losing ourselves. They've tried to erase us through history, through poverty, through silence, tried to humble us with slavery, colonization, forced migration, political betrayal, classism, colorism, disrespect. They tried to break us with foreign superiority and make us believe we had nothing to offer but tourism and cheap labor. But they forgot something. You can't burn what's already been through the fire. Our culture, born in struggles. Our joy, forged under pressure. Our laughter, echoes of survival. I didn't always understand that, you know? Growing up, I always wonder why Caribbean people seem so loud, so strong, so stubborn, like we were born fighting. But then I started seeing what we were really fighting through. People think Caribbean life is just rum, beaches and sunshine. But they don't see the generation of people living from paycheck to paycheck, working 3 jobs abroad just to send back something, sacrificing sleep, sanity and dreams for dignity. They don't see the single mothers raising warriors, the grandmothers who never stop praying, the fathers who would never say anything but feels everything. The youth growing up in a world that never expects them to win. They don't see the mental load, the pride we carry for our culture, and the pressure we carry because of it. Because here's where it flips. All that pressure, it didn't crash us. It carved us. We dance like we've never known pain. We cook like every meal is an act of rebellion. We speak in rhythm. We move in power. We live in color. Everything they tried to bury us with, we turn it into art, resistance, and identity. You ever notice no matter how hard life hits us, Caribbean people still find a way to laugh? That laugh, that's not ignorance, that's armor. We learn how to carry trauma in one hand and celebration in the other. How to weep on the inside and whine on the outside. That's not contradiction, that's balance, that's survival. Caribbean people don't crack under pressure. We become diamonds under it. And I'm saying this with no shame. Yes, we've been through hell, but hell didn't win. Because now, they want the very thing they tried to break. They want our food, our language, our rhythm, our resilience. They want to bottle what we were told were too raw, too loud, too unpolished. Now it's trendy. Now it's marketable. Now it's vibrant. Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen someone mock your culture and then turn around and copy it. Because that right there, that's what happens sometimes when people try to break something and fail. But here's what we've got to remember. Being fireproof doesn't mean you don't get tired. It just means you don't melt. It means you've burned before, but you've learned how to rise. It means you were underestimated, overlooked, underpaid, and disrespected. But you kept showing up. It means even when your knees buckled, you stood tall anyway. Because Caribbean people, we don't rise because it's easy. We rise because we have to. Because no one else is coming to save us. You ever notice how our people don't even realize how strong they are? We normalize struggle. We laugh through pressure. We wear our pain like cologne and keep it moving like nothing happened. That strength, it came at a cost. Because when you're fireproof, people stop checking to see if you're burning. That showing pain would mean that I'm letting my ancestors down. Like if I wasn't grinding, smiling, surviving, I was failing. But you know what I've learned? Being fireproof doesn't mean pretending the fire didn't touch you. It means the fire didn't consume you. You felt it, you cried through it, you questioned everything, but you came out with something stronger than flesh, a spirit that refuses to quit. We came from enslaved people who sang while chopping cane, who coded messages in drum beats, who kept their languages alive in whispers, rhythm, and rage, who came from islands that were never meant to thrive, but somehow birthed loudest laughter. the boldest pride, and the sweetest resistance the world has ever known. And today, we still carry that fire. Not on our backs, but in our bones. So when people ask why you're so loud, why you talk the way you talk, why you love so loud, move so bold, laugh so hard, it's because we weren't supposed to make it here. This joy, this flavor, this rhythm in our speech, it's not culture. It's survival art. It's the evidence that the fire never won. Every time I doubt myself, every time I felt less than, I had to remind myself, I come from fireproof people. People who made something out of nothing. People who were told you can't and said, watch me. That's in us. Not on the outside, not in what we post or what we wear. It's in our blood. I know. Being fireproof doesn't mean you never bend. It means you never break. You get quiet, but you don't disappear. You feel pain, but you don't quit. You fall down, but you never stay there. So if you've been feeling like life has been trying to break you, let me remind you, you are not weak for being tired. You are not less because you're still trying to figure it out. You are not behind. You are a living, breathing reminder that Caribbean people were never meant to fold. We've been through things that would break other people, and we're still here. That's not luck. That's legacy. So if you're proud of where you come from, and if you know the fire didn't take you out, it only lit you up, drop fireproof in the comments. Say it for the generations that never got to. Say it for the ones who are still carrying the weight. Say it for yourself. Because even if the world never claps for you, you need to know we were built from fire. We were never meant to break. And no matter what comes next, you are still standing. And remember, it's not just a destination, it's the journey. Stay locked in. Peace.